Let me introduce our second speaker of today's session, Mr. Pranav Sharma, and I'm delighted to announce that he's also a Punjab University alumni who did his bachelor's in engineering from electronics and communication from University Institute of Engineering and Technology, Punjab University, Chandigarh. He's truly an inspiration for our audience, especially our Punjab University students, because currently he's the Chief Marketing Officer of XLPAT Labs. XLPAT is a leading international artificial intelligence-based platform for technology analytics. Mr. Pranav Sharma has more than 6 years of experience working in IP industry while assisting in reputed organizations, institutes, industries for disseminating their innovations, ideas, and sell their IPs. His efficient communicating skills and articulating expressions has created a unique environment for his clients associated with R&D, research and development, product launches, competitor benchmarking, building intelligent algorithms. His specialities are too many and list is unending, but listing few of them includes patents, databases, building intelligent algorithms, product development strategy, corporate strategy, IP consultant, and an unending list. We welcome you, sir, and request you to share your valuable words on accelerate innovation with artificial intelligence. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much for the introduction. So first of all, I want to thank Komal as well because she laid down the platform from where I can pick up and talk about how to accelerate innovation using AI. And before jumping onto this particular part, I want to talk about a little bit about like ideas. So a lot of talk about filing patents in a university. Every Indian university is on a run to file patents. So, but is it actually about filing patents or is it about protecting valuable ideas? So in my opinion, it is more about protecting valuable ideas because ultimately the idea, that you do have in your mind or the idea that you will develop will fetch you some, profits or which will is something which will change the way the things are already being done. So I would ask the audience first, like, do you know what is a valuable idea? What do you think? What could be a valuable idea? Anybody from the audience, want to talk about, share their opinion freely, like what they think could be a valuable idea?
If I think about a valuable idea, तो एक ऐसा आइडिया जो सोसाइटी में क्या कहें उसे, सोसाइटी में अच्छे से एक्सेप्ट हो, हेल्प हो सबकी, और जो इतना मैंने इन्वेस्ट किया है, जो भी मेरा इनपुट लगा है, मुझे आउटपुट में भी प्रॉपर मिले। और एक आइडिया जैसे मैम ने पहले कहा था कि बहुत ही छोटी सी टनल के थ्रू एक आइडिया देखा जाता है, तो वो टनल अगर वाइड स्प्रेड हो सके, मतलब मेरा एरिया और डाइवर्सिफाई हो, दैट्स इट।
Okay. Anyone else want to speak? I think it's a very good explanation given by one of your colleagues. Anybody else want to try? Dr. Radhika, you have asked some questions. I think those are related to this particular point only. So if you want to add something to it, what do you think a valuable idea would be?
Yeah, thanks, Pranav. So definitely a valuable idea is that has a value for society. It has some value for in terms of monetary thing. So I think so it's a socio-economic impact. Any idea that will have a socio-economic impact when it will turn into something that is that can be implemented to the society and it can reach to community. In my view, it is any idea that has some socio as well as economic impact.
Great. Yeah, I think it is all the answers that are being given, like all the two answers, they are, absolutely correct. I want to add on and compile them under one hood. What I think personally, a valuable idea is something which is market acceptable. Anything which market accepts. Because I am from the business development perspective, I think of a business, and of course, everything leads to a social impact. That is why it is market acceptable. Anything which can change the way we are viewing the things, that could be valuable. And if we file the patent for the sake of filing patents, that might not fetch us, something valuable out of the patent. So valuable is something which is market acceptable, something which has a social impact, something which can change the way we think initially. and it can simplify the way we do our things. So this is about, the valuable ideas. Now, how do we currently in some of the research universities, some of the universities in India outside, many of them has transformed. But research in India is more of a research paper oriented. It's not moving on to something concrete which is being filed as a patent. I'll talk about these particular points later on in my slides. But why I'm talking about these points? Because I personally feel that when I interact with a lot of university students, researchers, they still rely on Google, some patent literature, Google Scholar, some of the research, like IEEE, Scopus, PubMed, where they put on some keywords, they search something, and they get some information out of it. So they generally rely on the public information to get some information out of it. So this is largely for me the academia research, where they search from either from the public sources or the research paper organizations, where they search before doing any kind of, you can say, augmented research, or you can say breakthrough research, or you can say step-by-step improvement in a particular research. So this is what is being done in academia research. And what are the pain points? The pain points, we all understand, the awareness is less. I don't say that they don't know how to do the research, but the research they are doing in what actually already being done in that particular area is something which we are not aware of. So awareness about what we are doing in what is already being done in that area, that is what contributes to awareness. And then research needs expertise. Whenever this research doesn't correspond to the actual research that you will do, but the research of the resources which will help you to do the actual research, like the patent research, the non-patent research. So the pain point is like actually the research, the databases that you use need some expertise. You need how to operate them. They need some, even if you do a patent search, it needs 6 months of training, like how to do a patent search, how to use different databases. So it is actually a very much expert-driven research. And then the data is scattered. You don't know which database to search, whether Google search is sufficient. If I'm doing a Google search, I'm not finding something which is similar to mine conditions. Google search is also something which is not keeping your idea secret. Whatever you're putting, that is getting stored in Google. They are learning from it. And it can be your idea could be the next Google patent. It could be like that, because it is in their policy. So, and the data is scattered. It is not, people are not satisfied, like whether they're searching on Google research paper, whether it is comprehensive or not. So data is very much scattered. The another is what to research. For example, if I'm new research, PhD associate, or I have just opted for, doing a research. So I don't know, like out of the whole areas, all the subjects that I do have, where to particularly research. I don't know the pain points. I don't know like what challenges industry is facing, and where the new technologies can be implemented. What is the implication of AI into my industry? So those things are not well aware of. Then where to research is another point which I've already discussed. And then patent tool actually needs a lot of expertise. And then comes how to generate new ideas. I know like everything I'm searching is I'm finding something around it. But how to generate new ideas, how to co-develop ideas, how to, transform one idea into another, how to, AI is already there, but how I can generate more ideas into my industry. So these are some of the pain points which are, over which I want to talk about in the next slides. But let's talk about some case studies. Let's talk about some facts. So IIT Madras, you all know, like they are incorporating, they are one of the best institution where technology is coming out. They are filing a lot of patents, and they are always among the top 3 or top 4 universities from where patents are coming in. And they are currently also incorporating technologies like AI in their research infrastructure. We are providing them those technologies to be incorporated into their research infrastructure, providing that to their students so that they can continuously research. What was the outcome? Let's talk about the outcome. Let's talk about the facts rather than moving on to how we achieved it. So it's a 40% increase in the overall efficiency. So in 2019-20, they have filed 186 patents. Earlier, they were filing only 132 patents. This is the data which was shared by their own team. So this is the amount of patents they have filed recently. So now you can see the gradient shift. The technology, they don't have the technology in 2018, but now they have the technologies. More ideas are coming into their space, and which help them to increase the total number of patents that they have filed. And again, it provides them the facility to the students to innovate as well. So what they actually did here, they integrated the technologies, ExcelPath technologies like Novelty Checker in their research framework. They added that into the library where any student who have an idea, they can interact with the machine. I can show you the platform. It's very easy to interact with. You just any idea that you have, you put it into the platform. The platform gives you a visualization. What is similar to that. I'll take one very simple example to help you understand how does it work. And students have access to that platform, and they can evaluate their ideas by themselves. This eliminated, the barrier. Like students don't know, like if they have idea where to go. So everyone has the access within the university. Anyone can research. If the idea is unique, they go to the IP department. They don't always have to run to the IP department. And then some other universities and research institution. These are some of them which are listed here. Only few I have listed here. For the sake of clarity, who are using it. And then a university, SCTMST, which is under Department of Science and Technology, they are also using ExcelPath, but in a different way. They are using it for commercialization. They are creating some reports to understand the value out of the technology and how, what are the white spaces available, where to research, and who are already in the market. So those things are done by their internal researchers, and then they comprehensively create a report and submit it to and then within their internal department, they have some internal companies who are making that possible. They develop a technology, they take it through the accelerator program, and then they out-license it. So something like that, where they are using ExcelPath technologies to do a research and then look at from the commercialization perspective as well. Now, where ExcelPath actually helps the technology, where our focus is, I'll say our focus is upon where awareness, to increase the awareness, where research needs expertise. These are the challenges that we are solving. Scattered data, lack of ideation, lack of IP knowledge. We connect all of them under one hood. Everything is done under one platform. So, and another part is monetization, how to create a market space. That is where we create a platform where facilitation of this is provided. So I'll move to the demonstration part. Before that, anybody has some questions about this particular part or want to add something to it, because it's a knowledge sharing session more than a speaking session. If somebody wants to add to it, I would be happy to listen to those views, and any questions that you may have, you can ask.
Pranav, actually I have got one question from Sukriti.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me to read out?
Yes, please go ahead.
It's how can researchers access ExcelPath, and what all features are useful for us as a researcher?
Okay, I'll cover that. There are two modules. One is Novelty Checker, which can be accessed by the university. University can subscribe to the platform, and students can get their ideas validated. And there is also free access where two searches are given to the students. I'll tell them like where to visit and which email. They can write an email to us. We can provide them a free account, and from where they can access. I'm just demonstrating the same module which is useful for the students, and I'll take you through that. Any other question? Mamta?
Yeah. I have another question from Radhika Trikha. She's asking, it's about Novelty Checker. In your view, can along with Novelty Checker, checking utility and feasibility in terms of pilot and market profitability of the invention can also be carried?
Yeah, it is actually a comprehensive process. Like 2-3 things are important. One is novelty. Once you have the novelty, you can obviously novelty, industry replicability of the idea when you have, and if it cannot be anticipated from any other idea. Then you are eligible to file a patent. But after that, it's, as I told you, like it is not about filing patent, but it is about the value of the patent. Yes, one has to conduct the market study, but for that, you need to have a research angle. Also, through the novelty checker, you get some anticipation. Like other companies are working in this area, many companies are working on the similar idea. So there is scope of integrating this idea. There is value attached to it because a lot of people are working, nothing more than that. If many people are working on a particular idea, it means that idea carries a value. And if your idea lies into that hole, it means your idea has some value. And if it is changing the way, which is the way in which work is done. But I completely understand understand the question, and the same time, it is also about the market research. You have to understand through the market channels, like what market is needing, whether that technology that you are developing is required, or the technology is mature for that. A lot of other parameters that you have to understand before commercializing a patent. So filing a patent, yes, novelty factor is important. The broad overview is understandable. But when you commercialize a patent, all these factors are important because then the value of patent increases. So these are some parameters. I cannot go into detail because that is too much technical. But anytime I can connect with the person who have asked the question, and then I can let her or him in detail, like how the process follows.
So Pranav, one thing, do you guys also provide service for market search, like which technology is promising right now, and services like that?
Yes, we do provide. We do provide some, analysis over the technologies, and that these are the booming technologies that are being there in the industry, like healthcare. For example, if I tell you healthcare, a lot of work is being done in healthcare currently, and augmenting the healthcare with artificial intelligence technologies. With the coronavirus, the connection between the doctor and patients has been broken because of the pandemic. But now, with the technology, you can have that augmented space where through the application, consultation can be given. So that is where, we explore the technology areas in different sectors, maybe chemical, maybe other sector. Teflon coating is something where a lot of innovation is currently going on. How to wrapping has to be done. So this is how our team of researchers who are very much expert in the area, they do the research, and then they provide the market validation, like why this technology is important, what needs to be done in this particular area. So this is the interface of the novelty checker. It is very simple to use. Nothing very much from my side to tell you how to use it. It's very simple. Here you can see technology domain, like to which domain your idea belongs, and the disclosure of that idea. It doesn't need to be very much technical you have to add. I'll show you one example here. And then once you add, then there are some parameters that you have selected, that you have to select, and then you can get the results out of the system. Now, I'm taking one idea, which I think most of you might have heard of. Have you ever heard about robotic bees? So these robotic bees are actually used for pollination. So artificial pollination, and they have cameras. Why there is a need for that? Walmart was known. There was a lot of buzz around Walmart that they have created a drone which can do the artificial pollination. So a lot of patents were filed by and are getting filed by Walmart in this particular area, where bees are being used. They have cameras, and they are artificial because the population of bees is declining day by day. So just to improve the production, that is where the bees are being used for artificial pollination. They are called as tiny drones, which are used for collecting the segments from one side and then transferring it to the other side. It is also used for delivering the pesticides. So this is the invention. I hope like many of you might have heard about. If not heard, this is something like how you enter idea. Very simple way. You added the technology domain, and then you added some key features that they are used for pollination. They have cameras used to in the same way than real bees do. Tiny drones can be used to deliver pesticides. So this is it, how you enter a disclosure. So any questions? If you don't have, I can move ahead. Feel free to interrupt me in between if you have any questions. Okay, then you click on next. In the next step, what system does, it divides it into different key features. Why? Because at this step, you can give a feedback to the system that, as Komal suggested you at that time, that we are moving from machine learning to machine teaching. Here the control is given to the human to suggest the machine that which part is most important. I think the first three key features are very much important. Then the last two are optional for me. So I kept the cameras, bees used for pollination and robotic bees. These are important one for me. And then you click on next. This is just giving a priority from my side. I have given the priority that I like the first three features. Three features are important for me. Now, what is this step? So some of the people who are aware about the patent industry, they know about what is patent classification. But who doesn't, who are not aware of the patent classification, I'll tell them for the clarity that the classification is a international standard where patents are classified by the patent offices into different classification models. There is code assigned to each patent, like which category it belongs to. So here you can see aircraft or something being provided, and when I hover over that, you see a code B69C39. So it means that this is the code being assigned. So now the system, we have created a machine learning model which learns from the previous inventions what code has been assigned to them previously, and the new idea that you are entering, whether it is overlapping with those codes or not. So here machine is comparing automatically at the back end to which particular category your idea belongs to. And here again, the control is given to the human where they can select which is the important one, which is not the important one. So like, I think aircraft is the important one because these are the drone bees which fly over the, which have a mechanism like aircraft, and they could be a mini aircraft or a, aircraft which is very small in size for doing some artificial pollination. And then there is another classification which is important, I think, control of position, course, and altitude of land, water, air, and space vehicles. This is again similar to, you see how the system has identified something very similar classification, unmanned aerial vehicle, which is not controlled by a human. So it's unmanned, it can decide its course on its own. So I have selected some of them, which gives a teaching to the system again. And you have given two levels of teaching. One, you have selected the important parameter. Then you have selected some suggestions like which classification it belongs to. The third very important part, we created a corpus, learning from Wikipedia information, learning from the research papers, learning from the patent information, that what could be the expected synonyms in the same industry, which can be selected and can make your search comprehensive. Why it is important? For example, I am explaining my idea in my own words, in my own set of dictionary, but other person might be writing it differently. How can we cover that? So that is why these concepts are very important. So otherwise, you need to learn the nuances of doing a patent search, but here everything is covered. You just click on a word, robotic, it will show you like which are the synonyms. Some are already being selected because it has learned from my previous operations. Then I clicked on cameras, like what cameras could be. And then it will show me video capture camera, projector, scanners. I can select whatever I feel important for me. Bees, I can click on that. I can see bee, honey bee, dragonfly. Some might not mention as bee, some might mention as a dragonfly. So that is how it gives you synonyms, which actually comprehensively covers and helps you search from different perspectives. It also searches in research papers. It also searches in the patent art. So once I selected that, then these are a lot of synonyms. You can select any one of them, and you can similarly, you can select other ones, and then the search can be performed. Once you click on proceed to results, what the system will do, system will start collecting the information that you have provided. First, you entered your idea. Second, you selected the important parameters. Third, you entered the classification. Fourth, you have selected, synonyms of it. It gathers all the information and then start making sense like a human does. So it understands the context and then starts looking into different databases, how the idea that you have mentioned is similar to the other ideas available in the space. So this is something done by the system, and the system takes 3 to 4 minutes to get this sorted, and then it shortlists the results and give you an overview, a picture of what is similar to the idea. For me, when I entered this idea, I thought like Walmart is the only player who is working in this area because it has been mentioned as one of the breakthrough ideas, and I thought like nobody else is working in this area. Now I got surprised to see the results, like an actual researcher gets surprised. Now you see 136 hits in the patents itself, which are already talking about this idea. As a, somebody from the Walmart, I have just, thought of filing the ideas as soon as possible. I got the idea, I thought like it is unique, but something like this is already existing. How can that be unique? So now, some patents you can see: autonomous drone bees, a device for plant management, method and system for agriculture. And then you see system and method operators for organizing crops in a mobile robotic agents in a multi-robotic system. So these are something which is similar. And there you can see Chinese patents: beekeeping robot system based on unmanned aerial vehicle. So something like Chinese aerospace. You can see BASF is filing patents in this. So a lot of companies are filing patent in this area. So this is one way, I got some external input in a very quick time, comprehensively from different regions. I got to find like who are working in the same area. It gave me knowledge. It actually created awareness for me to generate the new ideas. Now I went one step deeper. I want to understand how it is matching with my key features. The key feature that I have initially mentioned: robotic bees, pollination, etc. Whether they are actually related to my actual idea or some of my key features are unique. So here the system actually creates a mapping where it compares your idea with the existing idea. Like here you can see this is a 2019 patent file. If you click on the this 95, it shows you like it is also talking about performing pollination, and it's about robotic bees. You see the first key feature about robotic bees is covered. If we go to the second key feature, the second key feature talks about pollination. The pollination is already being mentioned in the existing idea. The text you are seeing here, that is the text from this document. So this document is already being published, but the idea that you have mentioned is on the top, the key features of your idea. But it is mapping, automatically finding what is similar already existing. So that gives you idea, oh, my idea is not unique, or something, some of the key features are unique and some are not. And if you go to the key features tree, you can see the cameras are also there. The camera is not unique in that. And there is some key feature here. The score is less. Let's see what it actually tells. Here I see that it pollinates in the same way real bee does. So here you can see it is also talking about body of a real bee. The same way they cling as a piece of coarse fabric as Velcro. So something similar to the key feature that we have mentioned. So here the idea of showing this to you is that you can analyze and you can see which key features of your idea are unique, where you can focus more, where you can channelize your energy. You added your abstract idea, but now you get the energy, like this part is less covered. This is not the end of it, but there are another spaces where you can also see non-patent literature. Like the patent literature, you can also see non-patents, where research paper, journals, white papers, and the public information is also being mentioned. So here you can see rise of robot bees, tiny drones turned into artificial pollinators. So you see, this is also, if something, it is not about something has to be mentioned publicly in the patents, but if it is already being mentioned in the research paper or any article, then also it is a prior art. Even then you cannot claim a right over it. So here you can see all these talking about Walmart has patented autonomous robot bees. Robotic bee could help pollinate crop as a real bee decline. Here, so all the news articles, or you can see if you go to the Refine, the different sources from where it scraped the data in real time. So it is not about it extracted data only from some sources, but it extracted sources from research paper, journals, white paper, news information. Wherever it got the data, it extracted and fetched the data from there. These are YouTube videos which also got extracted from here. So you don't, sometimes you don't have to read these ideas. You can directly visualize those ideas. So a lot of articles are there, but you don't want to read each one of them. So here it divides automatically it into concepts. If you want to see something with respect to delivery, you click on delivery and it will show you only those 19 documents which are with respect to delivery. And you can read those documents, of course. So, and different type of analytics is possible. Concepts are possible. Sources from where you fetch the information. You can select a particular source and from there, you can see what is being mentioned in that area. So like patents, non-patents are also captured. The analysis over patents, the patents are very much technical. So very much difficult for a researcher to understand what is being mentioned. So for that, we have given some visualizations where one can quickly divide and conquer, apply that strategy, divide all the documents into different concepts, and from there they can understand what it is actually mentioning about. If you click on wireless communication, I want to understand which are talking about actually wireless communication. So these are the documents with respect to that. Now I want to see wireless charging system of, now there are robotic bees, but they are very tiny creatures, tiny artificial creatures. How about charging? How about, so there one might be having an idea about charging a robotic bee. So there you can also see something with respect to charging, and you can see what is already being used in that. And then this is how you go deep and deep into a particular concept, and then from where you can visualize and generate more ideas. Now there was some question about, I think it is from Dr. Radhika, like how we can understand the industrial applicability, whether it is market useful or not. Yes, we can get an idea from the novelty checker itself a little bit, not in a very much detail, but it gives you, if so many players, big players are working in that area, definitely that has some space. You entered your idea, the system automatically found some of the patents which are similar to that idea. It means that idea creates some space. A lot of companies are interested in getting that idea. So if you are getting some niche around that idea, or you are getting some product or a patent around that idea, definitely that will create some difference. So this is the assignee versus technical categorization, which gives you like which companies are working and what, like here Weedout is working on specifically on weed. Let's see what kind of weed related patents. Method and system for weed control. Like you remember, I have entered a last key feature, tiny creatures for pesticide control. So it also gave you something around pesticide control through drones. So so that initial analysis can be provided by the system. So these are some of the analysis which is provided. Last but not the least, the ideation part, where for example, you have an idea, you added that idea. Now you can see the strength of that idea. How much is the strength? Whether it is a very strong idea, which demographics it is already have a protection, and what are the key features. And now coming to the main part, which is like how you can generate more ideas. So this is your idea divided into concepts, which is related to bees, pollination, crops, pesticides, same way real bees, tiny drones or cameras. This is my idea initially. Now these are the suggestions given by the system from the parallel domain, like what it could be. For example, I got an idea of wireless network. So when I see this concept as wireless network, some idea strikes to my mind. Few ideas strikes to my mind. So the ideas that strike in my mind are related to whether the different artificial, or you can say artificially created bees can communicate with each other. So I can create a network where different bees, artificial, robotic bees that I have created can communicate with each other, where they can understand if 3 or 4 bees are going in one direction, they don't have to go there. So they have to go in another direction. In this way, they become more intelligent than the original bees. The bees, the natural bees, they become more intelligent than the natural bees. So this idea I got this idea from wireless network. So similarly, temperature sensors, some temperature, for example, for pollination, if a particular temperature is required, those drones can actually maintain that temperature before doing the pollination. So that is another important idea that I got generated. Now these are the concepts which I see from my lens, from my knowledge. But if I show these concepts to you, you might see in a different direction. You might get a different idea. That is how this ideation works. Many of the companies globally, many big shots, like many big universities all across the globe, are using this particular map to generate new ideas. So nobody is capable of without seeing a outside knowledge of generating an idea. So this gives you outside information to create more knowledge inside, and then think of a breakthrough ideas by connecting the dots. So that is where it actually helps. So many universities, as I already told you, IIT Madras, IIT Kanpur, SCT, MST, CSIR research organization, they are using it in a different way for generating ideas and filing their new IP. So this is some small features are there, like generate report. You can create a report, and you can get some IIT how they are using. They are creating this report and giving that report to their IP department. This is how my idea is unique. So those reports can be created, and some landscape analysis can be done to understand what exactly being there through different graphical analytics. And there are small little bit functionalities which are there, but largely from the university perspective, I think this is the most important part for Novelty Checker. Any questions in Novelty Checker, or I have 3 or 4 slides to cover, and then we can come to the questionnaire round. Mamta, do you think like let me complete the slides first and then move on to the end part, which is the questionnaire, or do you want me to, if somebody has some questions, I can take that up?
Yeah, I think Pranav, we can finish our presentation first, and after that we can take questions from our participants.
Sure, great. So moving to the next part, I'll just cover the few more important points, like how we, it all boils down to how it is useful for us. You told me the technology, you told me how to use it, but how it is useful. Now we have a package kind of a thing for universities, where first is, there are, if 500 ideas are getting generated within a university, and you outsource every idea to us, then you can understand how much you have to spend for that. But think of a perspective, if I give you Novelty Checker installed in a university, and within a university you can check those ideas by yourself, and out of 500 there are remaining only 10 or 15 or 20 ideas or 50 breakthrough ideas, which comes to us, where we have to do a expert research and then give you a drafted application which can be filed. So this is how the channel flows. It is a combination. The Novelty Checker aims at flushing out the weak ideas, at the same time giving you some recommendation where you can think upon, where you can generate more ideas, what are the thinking, where you should precisely focus upon, rather than the broader perspective. So this is where Novelty Checker helps. Then comes the manual consulting firm, which goes deeper into that idea, gives you a perspective like, hey guys, this is the main area where you have to focus upon. Then they draft an idea for you, and then it is ready for application. So this is the university package being explored and being utilized by many other universities. Then, another part is commercialization part. I'll show you one example how we assist in commercialization. We identify the companies through our AI application. This is a custom approach. And then we also create some interfaces where you can place down your inventions, and then from there, any company, rather than you going out like this is the invention that you do have, Punjab University itself carries a reputation. So somebody can come to the Punjab University portal and then can understand what are the inventions they already have, and then some transaction can happen. So this is how some of the technology transfer offices are utilizing it. So coming to the last part of it, this is the view that I wanted to show you. This is Fraunhofer, is one of the German university. Is the German universities. They are one of the center which is in Berlin. They are utilizing the structure of ExcelPad for the commercialization, where what we did, all the patent documents that they do have, we divided that into different technology sectors and market domains using the technology and the expertise, and we added that onto the platform. Now we created a machine learning model through that. So any new patent which is coming out to them, they give us a list, we upload that over a system automatically categorizes them into different technology domains. And here, how does it help? For example, there are technology domains where they have filed patent. How does it help? For example, I'm an external company, and this is the website of Punjab University. I can always say, I'm interested in drone. Let's see what they have in drone. So I click on drone, and then I will see all the patents that they have in drone. So here you can see they have one German patent, they have some US patent, which is talking about drones, something related to drone. And now I want to see something with respect to agriculture. I put here agriculture, and the system will automatically tell me what we have with respect to agriculture. The PDF document can be uploaded, and there is a contact us button, which we have given, where directly a company who is in need of that particular invention, or they want to fund that invention, so they can contact through us. So it is an indirect kind of a marketing where we promote this page to everyone that, hey guys, this is what Punjab University is doing, this is what IIT Delhi is doing, and this is how they are putting their inventions upfront, and those inventions can be visualized by companies in a different way. And the trick here is the technology where is implemented is division of these technology sector. This is very much clean, and we have used a lot of algorithms from our proprietary stack to make these divisions and show them in a much noise-free manner. So this platform is utilized by companies, and now we are also in talking terms with some of the Indian university to create a similar kind of a platform with a possibility where contact details of the university can be given and somebody from outside can reach out. So now this is it for today from my side with respect to the presentation. And if you have any questions right now, I would be happy to take each one of them. Anything that you have in mind or anything which you didn't understand in the presentation, I would be happy to answer that.
All right. Thank you so much, Pranav, for such a great presentation, and you have elaborated the features of ExcelPAT very crisply and clearly. And even I myself was not aware about all these features of ExcelPAT. So great, it's great tool, and I recommend this ExcelPAT to my our researchers, and use your services and make their research very impactful and file a patent out of their research. So so Pranav, we can discuss this later on, that what is the subscription charges or terms and conditions for your tool, that we can discuss later on. Right now we have got some questions, so you want me to read out them for you one by one? Should I?
Yeah, that would be helpful.
Okay, the first question is been asked by Dr. Riddhi. She's saying, has enhancement in artificial pollination increased while making interconnected network for robotic bees? Is any study conducted yet?
Yeah, that is a very good question. I just took that from the internet. My idea was to just evaluate that idea specifically for that idea. I got thunderstruck by the idea initially, because when I read this article about 2 months ago, I read this article for Walmart. They are actually actually the bees are declining day by day. So in US, the production needs to be increased because a lot of getting into export. Even in India, we are importing a lot of things. But how to use the technology to increase the productivity, that is where bees are actually being utilized. Yes, there is a case study being conducted. There are a lot of research being oriented, like I have shown you the novelty checker results, which shows you like a lot of results for there, where a lot of companies are investing into that and creating an ecosystem out of it. Currently, if you say the productification of that idea, obviously there is a lot of research being done. But whenever you say some patents are being filed into an industry, and it is a very niche industry, very new industry, generally when a patent comes, if patent comes in 2019, generally that it takes 3 or 4 years to productify that. Okay. So it will take some time. Some smaller implementation, some test implementation has been done, but exactly at a larger scale, I'll finger crossed, but I wanted to see some Israel or US coming first in this. So they are actually started working in this area. Some of the clients with whom we are working directly, I don't want to disclose the name, but they are actually working in this area, and they are creating an ecosystem where this can be commercialized. Some of the challenges are the cost. The cost is very high because the technology is you can understand the AI is very expensive these days to implement into the system. And same network, to explore the network. Coming of 5G, the network will become more cheaper. And that is where the technology will become cheaper and it becomes affordable. Coming to India, you can understand the position of farmers. It is very difficult for them. They are fighting for their different for bread and butter, and also the policies by the government are not in coherence with them. At the same time, spending on the bees would be a challenge. Who will provide that to them? What is the price they have to pay? So these are the uncertainties which are there. Their technology has to first expand, become cheaper, and then this will become available to everyone.
Yeah, I think Riddhi has got her answer. Am I right, Riddhi?
Yes, surely, ma'am. And thank you so much, sir, for answering the question. Actually, I guess research scholars might be interested in knowing about it
Yes.
because most of them are experimentalists. So, not only theory based, they are most focused on the experimental results and the outcomes. So, that's why I asked this question. And thank you for answering it wisely. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Anytime.
Yeah, and next question is by Dr. Mansimran Khokar. She is asking, does Novelty Checker provide suggestions for modifying research domain to include unique areas? If yes, how does it acquire that information?
Okay, so first of all, let me tell you the clear differentiation. This is a very good question, first of all. And the clear distinction, there is a clear distinction between AI and human. The AI can always support a human. It is a very, you can say, intelligence which is very general intelligence. What it does, it collects, it reads the different documents, it creates a pattern, and then gives you something. But it cannot think out of the box, which is not already there. It can create a pattern and only combine few points and give you some suggestions. And seeing those points, seeing those different concepts, it's on the burden is on the human to combine those concepts and derive an idea. For example, there is a lot of talk about like artificial intelligence generating an idea, but those things are not currently possible according as per the technology, as far as the technology in the current shape. Currently it is very much narrow kind of intelligence where it assists a human to generate better ideas. And at the same time, how the ExcelPAT now comes to the second part of it, like how ExcelPAT extracts this information of generating the concepts in ideation. We go through the system automatically. For example, if I'm talking about bees, which is a subdomain of drones, I actually go into the larger space of drones. And with drones, what exactly anything which is airplane, which is flying. And what the system does, system divide your idea into different vectors and the documents which are available in the same space into the vectors, and then tries to find out some similarity. If some similarity is there, then according to the similarity, it gives you the parallel ideas. Like for example, the drones might not be in the bees, giving you some ideas which can be connected also in the bees. In the larger domain, it is connected with the drones, but not with the bees. But when you see at that part, that can also be, come into the bees. But the complexity of bees would be different. But the complexity of larger drones would be different. So that burden is on the human to make that viable for that particular product. But it gives you ignition point is provided by ExcelPAT ideation to generate more ideas, to get some insight from outside. The research paper, journals, white papers, patents, all these all this information is exploded in real time, and then that is from where those concepts are coming.
Yeah. Thank you, Pranav, for answering the question. And the next question is by our coordinator, Professor Nirmala Chongtam, and she is asking if there is any link with free access for Novelty Checker for researchers. Kindly provide so that they can plan their work accordingly.
Currently there is a limited access, as Mamta I told you. Like there is what I can do. I can open it up for some time for university. Punjab University, where they can any students who are interested, we can create a batch of it, and we can provide access directly to them for some duration of time to understand how the how this actually works. There is very much subsidized and very cheap kind of a subscription model for the universities where they can do research, but that has to go through once initial validation is being done. So like 2 or 3 searches or 10 searches, 15 searches free of cost will be provided. We can be provided through ExcelPAT. If individual searchers comes to us, we can certainly help them with that kind of assistance.
Sure, we'll talk about this later, that how we can subscribe for your tool ExcelPAT. Though we will do that for sure for us researchers. Yeah, and I think probably we'll take now 1 or 2 questions because we are running out of time. So next question is by Dr. Radhika Trikha, and she is asking, Pranav, can you also please give a brief how commercialization platform developed by TT can be utilized for scouting technologies as per market needs?
Okay. Scouting, now scouting comes to another part. Scouting means scouting from the industry perspective is something where companies, what they do, for example, if they are entering into a particular domain, then they look for the smaller players who are working in that area. That is Tech Scout. For example, I am working in the artificial intelligence in the patent domain. Now I want to understand who are the other players who are actually working in the same domain. So I don't want to start from scratch. I want to build upon others. So I want to see what Google has already done in the artificial intelligence in patents. I'll build upon that. Why should I start from the scratch, which is already being done? So that is also part of a scout, where scouting can be done. What is already being done in the industry? Who are the small players, and what kind of acquisition can be made? Now, from the second university perspective, Tech Scout, what I feel, Tech Scout would be helpful to understand the areas where research can be done. Which are the white spaces where we can focus upon. Where the tools like the commercialization dashboard that I've shown you is majorly, if you already have some patents, you can divide that into different clusters and have that on the platform, and it is a visibility to the outside company. It is a visibility to the companies. They can visit the platform and they can see what is already being developed in the Punjab University. Either funding can be provided to the students or the professors to do more deeper research in that, or the second way, they want to out license, get that patent out of the university. If you talk about, you want to understand the technologies, then Novelty Checker, Landscape are the solutions where that kind of facility is provided to understand the white spaces in the industry, where research can be carried out in your particular subject.
All right. Thank you, Pranav. And our next question is by Diksha Goyal, and she is asking, do you think relying on ExcelPad too much can lead to a reduction in thinking outside the box and just lead to a herd of patent-oriented technologies or the mainstream topic research?
Again, I would say it an intelligent question, but I would say, I would take an example. For example, if you wear clothes, all the time, you don't want to make your clothes by yourself. You want to rely on some brands which are already there. Like I go to some brands outside like Zara, Tommy, etc. to buy my clothes, to do my shopping. If I like something, I don't want to develop everything. So that is where we all are interdependent. It is something where we have to, take assistance from each other to create ourselves, what we are. If I am doing research in biotech, why should I learn the patent nuances, how the patent research has to be done? Why can't I rely on a simple platform which is already giving me that space? Hey guys, I don't want to know what patent research is all about. I can search it on ExcelPad. I'll focus on my area, that is biotech. I'll do research in biotech, but I'll not focus on how ExcelPad is doing the things. I will not do it manually. First of all, you will invest a lot of time in learning the patent nuances. The second, everyone doesn't want to do that. Third, lot of time investment, lot of time will go into that. Rather than it should go into your fundamental research, but it will go into learning the patent searching. The fourth part is that you will end up reading the patents. The patent reading again needs expertise. So that is why this has been developed to assist the students to think very coherently in the space where they want to think. It is not creating a dependency in their space. It is not giving you a biotech, like giving you a feed in a biotech, but it gives you a simplistic form where you can check your ideas, which is of a different kind of a technology. The base technology is totally different. It is AI over patents over something. It is not having some biotech background in the, just an example, taking an example of that. Mamta, I can't hear you. Okay. I think I can't hear you. Maybe it's from my end.
Pranav, now,
Yes.
am I audible?
Yes, you are audible now.
Okay. So I was saying that Diksha has asked very interesting questions, and thank you for answering it very wisely.
Thank you.
This is probably our next question, and it's by Hope Badril, and she's asking, if an idea shows less strength in ideation step, what does it mean? It has less potential, or it is less explored?
It only means the key features that you have entered, into the system are very much crowded. are already, there are a lot of documents which are already covering those key features. You have to think more than that. So it gives you the key features that you have added into the list to the system. Like I have added bees, pollination, cameras, does the same way real bee does. It used for pesticide, dissemination. The real ideas would be much more complex, but this is for the simplicity. I have taken that example. But if those particular key features are covered fully in the system and there is a lot of overlap is there, then the idea strength is given as low. And if your idea has a lot of unique features, key features, then it diverts towards high. So that is the basic criteria of giving you that part.
All right. Now I invite my participants. If anybody wants to ask any question, so please go ahead. Okay. Pranav,
Miss Mamta?
Yeah.
Yeah, Radhika this side. Can I?
Yeah. Please go ahead.
All right. Yeah. So Pranav, my simple question is like, right now India is on the verge of coming up with the new science, technology, and innovation policy, and one of the big ticket idea that is being presented is creation of a national level of STI observatory. So how you think, like, as Komal ma'am has also explained about how we can use the AI technologies and other technologies for building the research data. So similarly, the purpose of observatory is to have a one simple mechanism of having all the research data that is generated in India in terms of metadata and other STI outputs. So how you think that we can, like, from scratch, how we can implement the AI technologies for building such observatory at the national level?
I think, like for example, like it is specific domain of AI which would be helpful in this would be NLP, natural language processing, to process the data first. When you talk about aggregation of data, collection of data, so that some recommendation can be given on what is happening all across India, so that no overlap is there. So that is where first you have to collect the data. First challenge is the collection of data. All have to come onto a single platform. Either the center has to make it mandatory that everyone has to publish their research, whatever research they are making, have to publish on that particular platform. That could be just for collection part. Now, after the collection is made, then comes the data cleaning part. Making it either you can make a policy that it should be in a particular format, or if it's not in a particular format, then you have to apply some machine learning technology, some scripts using technology to make it machine readable, so that a pattern can be created. The second part is data cleaning. The third part of it is categorization. Now you have the data clean. Now you have to categorize it. Something could be related to mechanical industry, but under mechanical there could be different subsection of it. Although the research paper is already being categorized, there are a lot of categories that is being provided on different databases, but a uniform categorization like patterns has to be given. Either it's through the machine learning models, like we have some models inside ExcelPat as well, where we divide into patterns, into documents into clusters. So those needs to be unified and cluster has to be created. Once those clusters are created, then it is easier for all the researchers who are working in different portions of India to have that knowledge base from where they can extract knowledge. And any recommendation there provided by the researcher can act as a machine teaching. And then the future output that will come out of it will be something which is improved through the inputs given by the user. So that is how that ecosystem has to be created. But I think the policy need not to have to be vocal in form, but it has to be grounded somewhere that it is mandatory. Because I don't see something like mandatory where one single platform where you have to publish all your research. So one, you have to make a uniform research, and then you have to clean the data, then you have to categorize, then only these things can happen. For the policy, it's easy to say, but it is little bit, work has to go at the ground level to actually implement this particular part.
So Dr. Radhika,
Pranav. Thanks, Pranav. Yeah, I totally agree with you. A policy can give it a direction, but yeah, definitely an implementation strategy is what
Exactly.
is needed. Yeah, thanks, Pranav.
And one more thing that I want to add here, definitely in India, companies, private players, universities, governments have to make a uniform, integration. If they don't, industry has one best part in industry that they can do step by step incremental innovation. In university, mostly the innovation coming out is breakthrough, and the direction can be given by the government. If some consortium has to be made where some all the three what you can say powers can combine together and can bring a change. So that is the most important part. Like some consortium has to be made before implementing this particular idea.
Yeah, totally agree. That's why, like, a strong push from a policy and a government for creating such a repository where, like, we have a uniform arrangements of collecting data and then maintaining that data and then curating and then how a public can utilize that data. Yeah, and I totally agree. And the work that Excel Pat is doing, that would be really meaningful as you have been collaborating with IPO. So this would be another move
Correct.
to reform the things in India. Right.
Yes.
Thanks, Pranav. Thank you a lot.
Thank you, Dr.
Yeah,
Nadeem.
and one more point I would like to add that stakeholders in India are working in silos. They are not working in collaboration. So I think there is a need to practice the triple helix model that the government and academia and industries need to work in collaboration and to contribute more to society. So yeah, this is the like need of the hour.
Correct.
Yeah. So Pranav, thank you so much.
Mamta, just wait. Can we just take the last questions, which is much more related? Radhika's and Santosh, they are asking how they can avail the XLPAT services. Can they sign up, or what are the particular charges if somebody wants to use the services?
Okay, so I have mentioned my email ID here, p.sharma@xlpat.com. That is the email ID. The person who is there, I can give them the recommendation like how to go ahead with it. And if it is a university perspective, there is a university package as well, where which subscription goes from a particular package. I would be happy to discuss with only the actual decision makers who are there. So that is a university package where everyone can utilize it. And if one researcher has some idea, definitely I'll help him out, like how the research that he is carrying out, how much potential he has, and what are the steps that he has to take, rather than giving the subscription to him but he doesn't know how to use it. So those are the things very important. I have mentioned my email ID, ma'am. So at that email ID, the person can come to me, push an email, and then we can obviously connect. Apart from that, if university has some interest in that, definitely we can talk about it.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, we'll talk about the terms and conditions later on, Pranav. Thank you so much for being with us and answering our questions so patiently. And it was a great opportunity for us to hear from you and Komal ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Mamta, for providing the opportunity.
And we look forward to collaborate with you in future too, because we have a lot of services from you already. So thank you for that too.
Thank you.
Yeah, now I invite Professor Nirmala Chongtam to deliver a concluding remark to our speakers and our participants. Over to you, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you very much, both Pranav and Ms. Komal for highlighting such the good work which XLPAT is doing, and especially Pranav, he has explained it in a very simple and understandable way for the students by giving examples. You are a very good teacher, I should say. And we will take this for what you suggested was very good, that you give us a short duration to let the students familiarize with that. And surely we will talk with the university, with the concerned center, how this can be adopted by the university. Instead, that there is a subsidized package for the university. That would be good. But first, a small window for students, maybe you can open for a short duration, and then we will tell all the researchers, and they will also know the utility, because this is a very good thing for a researcher to starts the research. Of course, they will get some idea, as we have said that it cannot replace the human mind. Artificial intelligence can just help us more in doing that, but it can accelerate the work which the researchers does, and develop some strategies for developing technologies which can be commercialized, because it is the market we are looking at. So very well presented, very well explained, and Pranav, there will be many researchers coming to you. We'll also take hold of you, and we'll learn more about it. So thank you.
Sure, ma'am. Thanks a lot. And sure, I will open up the window for the university whenever you require it. Let me know the time slots, like when you need it, and I'll certainly open up for a particular duration of time.
Yes, yes, sure.
Yeah, would be if I would be of any help, I would be ready to provide that to you. So any helping hand from our side, we are always working very closely with the universities. Anything which is required from our side. I am the alumni of Punjab University. I have learned it is a giving back time. So yeah, anything which is required from my side, I would be happy to extend my hand towards it.
A very good thought, and thank you for that. And your talk has ignited such a lot of questions. That means you can see the value of your lecture. If they're asking a lot of questions, that means they have understood everything. That is why they're asking. And yes, you have really there are so many young researchers, even MSc students, they are so actively participating in your lecture. So thank you very much for igniting in them. Maybe they'll all come to research after they see that there is something here. So thank you very much. And to all the participants, and Rima is still there. We have collaborated for these workshops, and I think it is really fruitful. These 3 days have opened up so many things for me also, because I have just taken this center as a coordinator, and it is a learning process for me, but for the students it is also good. So thank you to everyone.